season was not very good. There, not a lot of intrigue there at the end. Their playoff totally delivered. College football's playoff pretty much delivered. The sport of football pretty healthy, except for where are these quarterbacks? My Eagles embarrassed themselves yesterday, which I knew they would, with a mash unit 49er team that really had no business beating my Eagles. But the main story today, Vols making a comeback in the portal. They got the Penn State 4 in the so far. And the Tennessee basketball team, do we need to readjust our expectations on there in light of the way they've started the season? And are you readjusting on the basketball situation? And shout out to our friends at Alabama who are in free fall in the portal right now. It's fun to watch it happen to somebody else. Shout out to Bama. I am so for that, it ain't even funny. This is fun to watch. And one other thing. So this Miami and Indiana deal begs a question, right? And so I was talking to some people over the weekend, and they're like, "Well, Tony, Indiana won't be able to do this again." And I'm going, "That's not the point. That is not the point on this Monday. Whether or not Indiana is able to do it again, it's that they're able to do it. You know why? Because here's the truth: if they can do it, we can do it. That ought to be the thought around here. If Indiana can do it, why can't Josh Heupel do it? Why can't the Vols do it? Because the truth is, they can do it. I mean, Indiana's shown me that. If they can do it, anybody can do it. And see, the thing about Alabama right now is that two key Bama players the Vols are involved with now, this Rasal guy, this linebacker, and then James Smith, a defensive lineman. 'Tis the season, man. Those avenues weren't open several years ago. The ability to go and take people off other people's rosters didn't exist several years ago. Well, Indiana will never happen for them again because, they got all these three-star players and blah, blah. I'm like, okay, if that's the way you want to look at it. The way I look at it is, if they can do it, why not us? I mean, seriously, what other way is there to look at that? What other way would it be to look at that? You know? And imagine with the way Tennessee's had a nice comeback here, if they would have been on the front foot in the portal, because they weren't. I mean, we talk about it today in the blog. They weren't. But just imagine if they would have been on the front foot. And Throaty wrote about this today because Tennessee's telling people, well, we're still on probation and, we can't do what we got to do and we got to stay within the lines and we're not going to be contacting people early and, and all that stuff. And it kind of hamstrings you a little bit. Hopefully at some point they pull the gloves off and go for it. But here we are with you on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Look, you play quarterback for show, but you play defense for dough, and Tennessee's really added to their defense. So I look at what they've done here and this little haul they've gotten from Penn State. First of all, the hire of Jim Knowles' credibility. It's brought credibility to them on defense. It's brought and it's reaped benefits out of the portal. There's no question about that. They've been able to land 4 of their guys out of the portal, all up the middle, and then a great rusher, a great guy who's just got boundless raw ability. But Beanstar the Great. Let's talk about our portal haul as Brian Hartman and myself are licking our wounds. Bino, the NFL playoffs, the basketball team, do we need to recast our expectations on these guys? Where do you want to start, Bino?
Let's start in the portal, Tony. And good morning to you and Brian. Just a much brighter outlook than we had when we last spoke. Just a flurry of activity here. The Jim Knowles hire obviously opened that door. And I'm glad to see that the thought that no one would follow him anywhere was bogus.
Yep.
He's had assistant coaches come with him. He's had players come back to him who had other opportunities. So really pleased with the flurry. I know there's more work to do, but needed a kicker, got a kicker. Needed a return man, got a return man. Needed defensive players, got defensive players. I got an offensive lineman. So far, there's more work to be done. And but so far, I'm really happy with the progress that we've made here recently. So hopefully that continues, and I know that that's just the first part of it. That the valuation has to be right, and the pieces have to come together, and they have to be successful on the field. But I'm happy with the sense of urgency and the understanding of the needs and the effort to fill them. So so far so good in the portal with more work to be done. The basketball team, it's one that's not quite as good defensively as we're accustomed to with Barnes teams. We're still, Ament's still a work in progress. He was the lone bright spot at Florida. More disturbing to me is just their lack of care with the basketball. You just can't continue to turn it over time and time again when you're somewhat challenged offensively. You just can't give away possessions, and until that gets fixed, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter a whole lot. I think this is a good basketball team, but I don't think at this point, and I'm not sure we're going to see them be as good as the last 2 Tennessee basketball teams were. This team at this point looks to me more like the Keon Springer teams than the teams that we've seen of late.
And you know what, Bino? That's what they track like. When you look at their assist-to-turnover ratio, and Matt Dixon, we'll have some stuff in the blog tomorrow. He's done some research. It's just kind of crazy, but they're like on a 30-year bender here. We haven't seen a team this deficient in terms of the flurry of turnovers and the goofy things they do. Hard to win road games when you're that loose with the ball, which is something we said Friday, which is why you and I both thought they would lose, and why I think it's going to be a long weekend, long year rather, doing these post-game shows. But hey, we do them because we're dutiful, and we're here for the fans, and we're here together, and we're here for each other. But God, it's hard to watch. Hard to watch.
I think this team will be, as I said Friday, I think they'll be hard to beat at home. I think they'll be really challenged on the road.
Yeah.
They need somehow to win 7 of 9 games at home. No worse than 2 losses at home. because I just think wins are going to be extremely hard to come by on the road for this team.
Yep. But we got a lot to talk about. So we got that. Brian Hartman, welcome in. You and I are going to commiserate today and lick our bumps together. If I were a Jags fan, I'd be a lot more proud of the Jags than I would the Eagles. The Eagles played a team that had a guy holding out, that had 4 key injuries, and then lost George Kittle in the first half to a horrendous. You hate seeing a star player get hurt like that. He's already been beat up all year. But then yesterday he has the Achilles deal, and lo and behold, what do you know? The Eagles can't score in the second half because they haven't been able to all year. Your guys, Bry, had a championship drive from Lawrence, but had a quarterback that's been in a lot of battles. He's got the scars to prove it. And boy, I'll tell you one thing. Josh Allen was one force to be reckoned with yesterday, Bry.
Are the crisis hotlines open for the Eagles and Jags, Tone?
Not really. Your crisis hotline isn't open. And the Eagles have a good, solid core, and there's nobody in their division. You know why? Because the Cowboys are in the division, and the Giants are in the division, and the Washington, whatever they call themselves, are in the division. So we'll be right back in the playoffs next year. Hate to tell you, to all the haters out there.
Well, I thought the Bills coaching staff confused Trevor Lawrence, and you saw experience. Liam Cohen did an excellent job, 13-4.
Yep.
The future's bright, but the Bills coaching staff, McDermott's been there and done it longer.
Sure.
And Trevor he had one playoff season a couple years ago, but he's still relatively inexperienced in that department. So hopefully he'll get a lot more experienced as we go along. He really could have thrown probably 4 or 5 picks because they got their hands on a lot of his passes. And
no doubt.
And what really I don't like is your defense was good at forcing turnovers all year long. They didn't get one. The special teams got one after you score to take the lead. You have a chance to go up 14-3. You've got to go up 14-3 when you're facing Josh Allen. You've got to.
Yep.
But when it's 4th down and 2 full yards, take points. Take points. If it's 4th and 2 inches, okay, 4th and 2 yards, please take the points and go up 10-3. And then that ended up being the difference in the game. Also, the Jags kicker, who had kicked 67 and 68-yard field goals, misses a 54-yarder that he normally makes. And then Buffalo's kicker, who they said may have had injuries and was sort of banged up and had been kicking forever. He's ancient. He drills all his long field goals. And so right there, it's a 3-point game at the end. And that was the difference. Things that normally had been going well in the stretch for the Jags deserted them yesterday.
It's playoff football,
but all in all, I really enjoyed the season. I'm encouraged.
Great year
and
for you.
I can live with this result. And it's disappointing. It sucks, but I'm not like really upset the way some fan bases are right now, especially the Green Bay Packers.
Great year for you. And I think that the 2 best teams in the AFC met on that field yesterday. I think Jacksonville and Buffalo are the 2 best teams in the deal, and I think Buffalo is going to come out of it now. Buffalo deserves to go to a Super Bowl, and they're going to have a tough road to do it. They're going to have to do it on the road, but I believe they have the team to do it.
This is their first road playoff win since 1992. The Jags didn't even exist the last time Buffalo won a road playoff game, so of course that's who they were going to beat.
The news is breaking today. There's going to be a couple pieces of news today break on Tennessee's quarterbacks. First of all, there's a lot of chatter out there that Joey's going to get denied today, which would be in keeping with some of the other things that have gone on in terms of the denials. And I think Bino's right. I think they're trying to put some sort of, I don't know if the term's cap, but there's a movement toward, hey, let's kind of shuffle these guys off the stage. Whether that's right or not. Pavia's not going to get his. The other one that was denied late last week, and now you're going to see that's the chatter. Okay, we'll see if it happens. At the same time, Sam Levitt looks like he just committed to LSU. I mean, who knows? Does he end up visiting Miami or visiting Oregon? Who knows? But the story goes that Lane Kiffin told him and his brother, see you later. And then he came to Knoxville and chased him down Friday night, or was it Thursday night? Whatever it was, he was tweeting the photos from the airport and doing his bits and doing the Lane Kiffin thing. And hey, look, if you want to overpay for a guy who's damaged goods, go for it. And if the guy's healthy, he'll come in here and he'll have a pretty good day in Neyland Stadium. There's no question the guy can play. Because Kiffin got that one receiver from Hawaii. They have some other pretty good receivers around them. And we know Lane Kiffin's going to be good at portal ball. If he was good at portal ball at LSU or at Ole Miss, imagine what he's going to do at LSU. So, whatever. I personally, and maybe I will rue the day I say this on the air, because maybe Levitt wins a Heisman Trophy next year. I'm glad the Vols didn't play around with Sam Levitt. First of all, I don't want a guy that's that freewheeling. I don't want a guy that's that beat up. I don't want a guy that you're going to have to overpay for. Well, what's the point in any of that? Take your money, spend it on your defense, and get a pretty good quarterback. Not a bad formula. It's how we got to the playoffs 2 years ago. We didn't spend our money on our defense then, but we just had a pretty good defense. We had veteran defense that sort of ripened on the vine, and it came to be for the Vols. People around this thing don't think Aguilar is going to win his appeal. So Tennessee is going to have to go find now a quarterback. Here's my issue with them on the quarterback thing. Where's the plan? Where's the plan? Okay, so you weren't going to spend big, but you had to have some other guys on the hook. You had to call and walk somebody in you had to walk somebody into the deal. Now, Negadave's being negatory on the Penn State transfers. He says only Amari Campbell was a starter out of those Penn State transfers. Hey, Dave, stop. Stop, man. Stop. Don't move the cheese, Dave. Now, the Chaz Coleman guy's got to be more than just a situational player for Tennessee, and they think he can be. Penn State used him sort of as a situational pass rusher as a freshman, with the thought that he can develop into an all-American football player. That was their expectation for him, and eventually a high-level professional player. They've seen him there. People I talk to say, hey, he's got the high end. I don't know if he has what the kid that ended up blossoming with the Cowboys has, but they think he's in that sort of ilk, that he's a very, very, very good player. The kind that we've seen on past Alabama teams when they've been very, very good, Georgia teams as they've been very, very good. Dave, don't be a cheese mover. You piss me off, man. Don't do that to me. And the kid they got out of the secondary was a signal caller for him, so he knows the defense. And so my point about the football team is they've really improved themselves in the middle of the field on defense. They've really improved themselves. They got a kid at defensive tackle, to Dave's point, who didn't play a lot. That's true. But again, has high upside and has a couple years left. They got a guy at middle linebacker who started for Penn State who can play. They got a safety who's going to be able to call their signals and adjust. At least that's what we think is going to happen. And so these guys are pretty good. This is like Bino said, they've upgraded their defense. Now, can you get one of the two guys from Alabama? Can you get a few more guys? Tennessee's issue is, and my issue with Tennessee is, they behave themselves. And they're telling people that behind the scenes. We're on probation. We couldn't tamper like the other schools do. It's what they're telling people. Orange Throat wrote it today in the blog. If you pulled Brent Hubbs or Austin Price aside and said, is that true? They would say, yeah. If you ask them that on the board, they're not going to say yes. But if you pulled those guys aside, they tell you yes. If you pulled Adam Sparks aside and said, hey, those guys wrote that, is that true? He's not going to say it publicly, but they'd say, yeah, that's right. Tennessee's still on their best behavior because they think they're still on. They still think they're on probation. And my argument that would be probation from what? Are you afraid of the NCAA? I mean, let's think about what we're doing right now in the NIL space. Texas Tech is buying everybody. Bino, what kind of market do you think Texas Tech has down there? Like Knoxville is a top 100 media market, something like that, whatever it is. I don't know. I used to know those things. I don't worry about that now because we're doing global stuff here. But what would you say, Beanstar? How small of a market must that be down there in Lubbock compared to Knoxville? Because here's what they're going to tell. They're going to tell that clearinghouse. Well, you know, these kids are going to have deals. Deals for what? You literally have like 5,000 people living around the campus. What kind of deals? I'm happy with what the Vols have done, Beanstar. Yes or no?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah, I'm happy for it. I'm happy with what they did on.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I'm happy with what they've done, Tony. And I you know, we had Ken Miller on last week, and Ken follows that Penn State program as closely as anyone.
Yep.
And he gave his stamp of approval on all of these defensive players from there.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna take that and run with it because I know how closely he follows that program. Tony, as far as Tennessee, I think Tennessee actually had a plan at quarterback. I don't think it's panned out. I think they started out like you said with Sorsby and with Levitt. Sorsby was quickly kind of off the board to Texas Tech. They got Levitt on campus, and they also went down and did everything that they could with Simpson. So I think they have had a plan. I just don't think that to this point it's proved to be it's worked.
Somebody, I want to think this is Miami in light of what LSU just did with Levitt. There's a report out there. I'm going to read this to you. You guys tell me what you think, because this is pretty remarkable. This is from, and again, you know, you hear this stuff, but a guy named Nick Kelly, who is an Alabama football, baseball beat writer, AL.com guy, he's a Heisman voter. Proverbs 16:13 in his in his bio over here on X Twitter. Looks like a nice kid. He has 17,000 followers. He says the following: Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson declared for the NFL draft, but other college programs are still trying to get him to enter the transfer portal. One offered a deal that could total $6.5 million for one season. Now, that one team is not, I don't think the Vols, I don't think they're going to spend like that.
Nor should they.
No. But the Miami Hurricane, they have that money. They've proven it to us. They flexed on us with a few players before, including that Polynesian offensive lineman we thought we had several years ago. His name escapes me, but he's very good for them. And then they came and stole our safety off our football team last year. So they've been rewarded in behaving this way. And if you'll remember, last year they paid $4 million for Carson Beck, and we were all laughing, myself included. And nobody's laughing now. Carson Beck's played really well in the playoffs. Now, I don't trust Carson Beck. I don't trust him against Indiana. But, hey, they've gotten to the national championship game. They've gone through a gauntlet here. Much respect to them. Isn't that interesting, Bino, that somebody out there is still trying to pull him back into the boat?
Yeah,
which I guess you can do.
Is.
I guess you can do.
It is, yeah. It's just the difference in the NIL world. You know, used to, if a quarterback declared for the NFL, there was no way to keep him. Now you can almost pay more than they can as a rookie quarterback.
I was hoping against hope. That Heupel and those guys would identify a couple lower level guys and just go get them. Before I spent any amount of money on the kid from Arizona State, I would go get 2 lower level guys, take the 2 guys I have, and let's go play football. I'm being serious over here.
And maybe that's where the search ends, Tony. Maybe that is where the search ends.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not where it should have begun, though. I'd have loved to have seen them get the Old Dominion kid, Bino. The Old Dominion kid would have fit this offense perfectly. But he's going to go – all this runs together. It looked like he was going to go Virginia Tech, and then the Grunkenmeyer guy became available. Virginia Tech passed on him. He went on over to – where is he? Like a Wisconsin? Something like that. Is that right, Bri? Wisconsin?
Yes, he's going to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm trying to do all this in my head, which people listen to me. A mind's a terrible thing to waste. A mind's a sieve. But that is an interesting little nugget there from AL.com regarding Ty Simpson. Who would pay him $6.5 million? It's either Oregon or it's Miami. Oregon or Miami. Now, Bino, I said on the air last week and have been saying, and people came after me for saying it, but I'm going to say it again. I don't get this kid from Oregon as a top-flight NFL quarterback. Will anybody join me in this? I know he had a terrible game the other day, and I'm piling on a guy who had a terrible game. Did you see anything out of him Friday night, Bino, that made you think, man, I'm going to spend the first pick on the draft in this guy, or I'm going to draft him in the top 5? Did you see anything out of him, Bino, that would lead you to do that as an NFL franchise?
No, not the other night for sure, Tony. I haven't watched Oregon a whole lot, but certainly not the other night. I didn't. But I'll tell you the truth. I've given up. I've given up on trying to determine who's going to be coming out of college, who's going to be a quality NFL quarterback. I certainly didn't think the May kid was going to be, and he looks really solid. I didn't think Bo Nix was going to be, and he looks really solid. I'm wrong more than I'm right, so I don't even know how to look at him anymore.
So, this whole thing is going to get lots of twists and turns. Believe it or not, we're 10 days into Portal Mania, and we've got another 10 to go. Another week and a half or so to go.
5 more days to go, I think, right?
Is that right?
The 2nd to the 16th?
No, 21st, isn't it, Brian? Let me look at the window.
I thought it was 2nd to the 16th.
It's the 16th, but isn't there an extra period
for the playoff
teams still in the playoffs?
That's
but now,
right.
That doesn't have anything to do with signing people, right? That's just
guys
people
getting
going
in. That's exactly right. You can pull guys out as long as you want. Up to 2 weeks before after your session runs. Tennessee session runs longer. So it might be some 10s at 2s and some 2s at 10s, and that Dante Moore guy, I mean, more power to you, pardon the pun, if you're going to take him as an NFL franchise. We have a lot to talk about. The basketball team, boy, they're rough. That's a rough watch. Now, I will say this for the basketball team, in all fairness, I was talking to C the other night, and he was like, when you take care of the ball like that, you're not going to beat anybody. However, they did play off the jump in the 2 hardest places to play in the league. There is very little doubt about that. They did play in the 2 toughest places to play off the jump. My hope is for the upcoming season that Josh Heupel can get Josh Heupel lucky here. Let's have a quarterback fall into our lap who can play. Bino, I'm telling you right now, if it's this Prebula guy, I believe in Josh Heupel luck at quarterback, but that would really be pushing it if that guy ends up at our quarterback. Do you feel me?
I feel you, Tony. If he comes in there, he's not winning the job. We'll be playing G-Mac, or we'll be playing Faison.
Yeah.
He's winning the job.
Yeah. Because the expectation was...
That's a waste of money.
If they would have brought a frontline guy in, the expectation was going to be that G-Mac was going to jump into the portal. And I was kind of poking around on what G-Mac's market would be in the portal, and I don't think it'd be great. Just to speak it honestly here. I was poking around on that because you got to poke. You're doing what we're doing. You got to go, okay, well, if this guy and this thing happens, and then he goes, how big's his market? And I was told, kind of tepid. So, but they've got to go find somebody that can throw the long ball and run around a little bit. And there are guys out there in lower division football, G5 football, 1AA ball that could throw it around and run around. Throw the ball a little bit and run around. And again, some of you think Joey Aguilar is a great quarterback. I think he's okay. I think what Joey Aguilar shows you is that this is a pretty damn good offensive system if you've got good receivers in it. And the Brazil guy was damn good last year. Now, who's going to join the party to replace him? Because he was pretty damn good last year. He made a liar out of me. So, 865-200-5402. This Pribula guy, or Pribula, let me think here. I'll practice party discipline with the best of them. I'll sell for you in the off season. I'll tell everybody it's going to be great. I'll predict 10-2 by the time we get to May, June, July. Get you through it. We're going to make the playoff. If you're going to throw that Bo Pribula guy out there who couldn't play in a very good quarterback-friendly offense with a pretty good receiving core against how do you put this, Beanstar? Against a pretty moderate schedule in the league. Look at our schedule next year, and you throw that Pribula guy on the field.
If he gets to face UMass 9 times and maybe Kansas the other 3, he might be pretty good.
Please don't do that. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. 865-200-5402. Lamb Weirdos Steelers have a few more hours to live this season because they are going to, Bino, get destroyed tonight. Yes or no? Lamb Weirdos Steelers.
No, I don't think they're going to get destroyed tonight, Tony.
Shout out to Jawan Jennings. His press conference when he screamed into that microphone after throwing that touchdown was pretty all-time. I shouted him out at the bottom of the blog today. He is just, he would be a perfect Pittsburgh Steeler with his mentality. And that town, they would love that guy there. And this A.J. Brown guy who runs his mouth, and you Titan fans warned me, I give you credit. I give Goldbrick Joe credit. I give Titans Bill credit. I give a lot of people credit here. And several people around town that, hey, I hear you crowing that you guys got A.J. Brown. You wait. Hey, you guys were right. A.J. Brown is a punk and a clown. And when Nick Sirianni went after him yesterday on the sidelines, Bino, what'd you think of that? I love that, Bino. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I was wondering did he just get on him for dropping the ball?
Yes. He said, catch the damn ball, is what he screamed at him.
Yeah. Always open.
What book do you think he was reading on the sideline this year or sitting on the bench?
865-200-5402. More on the other side after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payment until 2027. A new energy efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
So I'm trying to poke around and find out exactly what kind of an impact these Penn State players are going to have. And I just reached out to Ken Miller, who was on here last week, and I want to get a couple of Penn State sources on this week, guys that, follow the program, guys and gals that follow the program, simply because I want to bring that to you. I want to bring that perspective to you. And Miller, in passing, and people that are listening to us on either Twitter Spaces or watching the video can hear our conversations. I just do what I do in here. And Miller says, as a matter of fact, I said, Miller, this safety, I said, I got some people in here poo-pooing him. He said, why? He said, Penn State didn't want to lose that kid. He said he started 3 games for him last year as the adjuster, but he was on the field at the end of all the games. He was always on the field. He said they had a kind of a thing where he didn't start, but he played most of the snaps. And Dave's in here going, well, he wasn't a starter. Okay, from 10,000 feet, that's a good viewpoint Dave has. Dave went and looked up whether he started or not. Miller says he's always on the field. Now, Bino, whose side are you going to take? Miller's or Dave?
When we're talking about Penn State football, I'm going with Ken. And as you and I talked about off the air, Ken's not going to sugarcoat this thing for the Tennessee fan base because he could care less.
That's exactly right.
From a Tennessee football perspective.
In fact,
he cares about Penn State, knows about Penn State, follows Penn State, knows what he wants to keep and what he wants to lose.
Exactly. He wants to have bragging rights with his friends, and he said, Tony, the Vols are in the midst of having a pretty good defense next year. He said, no, they're not going to be great. He said, but they got the makings of a pretty good defense, and I agree with that.
Hey, we go from what we had to pretty good. That's a quantum leap.
So we'll get some people on before we go. That's exactly right. And look, I'm a guy that's not afraid to call a ball on a strike, and I do think Tennessee's been somewhat hamstrung by Danny White. With her approach in the portal, and his lieutenants literally are telling people, hey, we're still on probation, as they're complaining to them. That's what I'm getting back. And so what Throat wrote today is accurate. And that's why Tennessee's had a little slow start in the portal, and they didn't walk guys in like a lot of programs did. They're being extra careful, and but they're, hey, this Jim Knowles hires allowed them to cover some ground here and scavenger up some guys from Penn State, and the 4 they've got are pretty damn good. That middle linebacker's a nice player. He just told me about Xavier Gilliam. He said nobody wants to lose a defensive tackle that can play in major college football. I said, why are 2 other guys now in the portal? And he said, well, they're pretty good too. He said it must be either because they can't play them, or the new coaching staff thinks they don't fit their system. So we'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Levitt today to LSU. Lane Kiffin came up here after letting him go and jumped all over him and probably money whipped him. Probably money whipped him and his brother. Personally, I said it at the time, this is not sour grapes. I would not have done Sam Levitt. I said it before Sam Levitt. I said it during Sam Levitt. And I said it after Sam Levitt. I would not have done that. Even though there is one thing about him that I would have liked to have seen, and that's his cocky nature in a Tennessee uniform and the concept of having a guy at quarterback that everybody else would have hated. Because he'd have been hated in this league. And knowing him, Bino, when they come playing here, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder like the Vols didn't offer him enough. And it's going to set up a very interesting game when he comes here now. There's so much cross-pollination with these programs that each week you're going to play somebody that you have history with.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's what this is breeding.
Yeah,
even more so than what we've been accustomed to.
Yeah.
As far as Bo Perbula, or however you say his name goes, Tony.
Yep.
Listen, I said this about the NFL, and I'll say it about Josh Heupel. I don't want him. I don't think he's the right guy. But as long as Josh Heupel's been here, the guy that I thought was the right guy isn't, and the guy that I thought wasn't is. So I'll at least give him, if that's what happened, I'll at least give him the benefit of the doubt. But if it's him, I don't think he wins the job.
Timothy McGee said, Coach Major said it best about our fans when he said, Vol fans are the legion of the miserable. Timothy, to that I say, yes and no. Vol fans are extremely knowledgeable and absolutely love and care about their program. And maybe to a fault. Now, there are some that will gnaw on me and drive me nuts. I can't imagine what it's like to be a coach, Timothy. But I appreciate your super chat. But I will remind you, Timothy, it isn't like we're cutting nets down all the time here. And we're paying a lot of money for the right not to cut nets down. We haven't played in the SEC championship game since 1998 here, Timothy. And we fill our stadium every week. And we just saw Ole Miss get to a national semifinal. We were watching Indiana play for a national championship. We thought Miami was left for dead and nobody cared about their program anymore, and they're in the national championship game. So, Timothy, if folks are a little impatient, good for them. And I start out today's show, and I'm going to go to the phones because this is geophysical. You're the caller. Those of you that look at Indiana and say, well, they can't do that again next year, don't have that attitude. Sure they can. So can we. Isn't that a fair way of looking at it, Bino? Instead of poo-pooing what Indiana's done, let's say to ourselves, hey, we can do that too. Don't you think that's a fair way of looking at it, Beanstar?
Yeah, that's the way I choose to look at it. That it gives us some hope. Now that, again, that's the most amazing turnaround that I've ever seen in my life in college football. To take the team that has the most losses in history and in 2 years be playing for the national championship, that's just unbelievable. That's the right guy at the right time.
People are asking me, what you talk about Danny White and they're proceeding like they're still on probation. Why are they being so careful? He's being careful because he's got the ultimate buyout. He's got a 4-year rollover. He has by far in that industry, okay, the largest contract that's ever been written in terms of if he got fired. They would owe him all of it, as in all of it. As in, there are a couple ADs out there that make more money than him, like the guy at Texas, per year. But nobody has this guy's buyout. And he's not going to risk it. He's got this guy, they are doing it straight arrow at UT. And if you think the other programs in this league did that thing straight arrow as they got the jump on us, and so we're playing catch up. But we got the money to play catch up. We got some money to play catch up. That's the good news. It isn't like we don't have any money. We got money. But we're playing catch up. Because Tennessee's telling people that. They're telling the people that call people like him or his lieutenants, and that's who I'm getting it from. I'm just telling you. From several people. And what they're being told is, hey, look, we're on probation from the Pruitt stuff, and we can't, the other schools are cheating. And we can't do that, and we couldn't do that. And, I'm sitting there going, of course you can do that. Of course you can do that. Everybody's doing that. But, now we're playing catch-up, and we're doing a pretty good job of playing catch-up. I'll tell you what, the Penn State 4, you got me fired up, folks, prepared it. Now, those guys can all play. can all play. You look at last year's defense and you say, where would those guys rank with last year's defense? I'm going to tell you something pretty favorably. People cried in Hemden Hall when Ross went out of here the other day. And the Herring kid's a nice player in certain defenses. In this guy's defense, the Herring kid was going to get run over. And he was getting, and the Big Ten team we played in that bowl game mauled him. No offense. You know, and the other kid that left, I mean, yeah, okay, he's going to go here, going to go play at a league school, and yeah. This guy wants different types of people on his ends. He wants heavier guys. He's got a different approach. Let's see if it works. Hello and welcome in. Let's get our next call in. You're on the air.
What's going on, Tone? Who's your ball run?
My gosh, man.
How about her, Hoss?
I was thinking about you Friday night, brother.
Hey, I'm not going to belabor the point. It speaks for itself. Let me ask Dave and everyone poo-pooing this, because, Tone, you know ball. I watch a lot of SEC ball and Big Ten ball.
Yep.
Who's the talk of college football right now? Indiana. Who came the closest to beating them this year? And listen, Mark and Columba, it ain't your beloved worshiping Buckeyes.
It's that Penn State defense that had them on the ropes.
Now, did they beat us in a shootout nearly where they scored 50 points, or did they play West Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, hard-nosed attitude football?
Yes, they did.
And smack us in the mouth for 4 quarters until Mendoza caped up and won the Heisman.
He's right about that, Bino. Now I got to go back and see how.
Everybody be happy today. What is wrong with y'all? The Big Ten's really good. We got one of the best defenses, rated it.
Yep.
What are y'all talking about?
Yep.
Hey, Ryan, I got a question for you that I've been thinking about over the weekend. I got some Kentucky buddies that anytime their football team would get pretty good, it kind of pissed them off because they would rather
they're idiots.
The entire attention be on basketball. Are there Indiana fans that are that way?
No.
Okay.
Did you see Atlanta?
Have you seen the Ghetto?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about hardcore basketball first fans.
Hey Bino, Clarkie boy
I don't
told
know
Anthony. Clarkie and Anthony were playing cards on Saturday, and Clarkie boy told Anthony that it's a $3,500 get-in to the championship game, and the whole market is being driven by those Hoosier fans.
Indiana.
They're going to have 75% of Miami Stadium. Imagine if we got back and played a national championship game in our building. Imagine this now. And 75% of the fans was another fan base. That's how hungry Indiana is, Bino, to win at anything. They're like we were when Tony Vitello got that thing going, and I'm getting chills thinking about it. And we had about, in that Hoover Met Stadium, and Matt Dixon was down there. And Chris Burke was in there. We had like 10,000 people. We just bombed that place with people. That's what they're getting ready to do to the national championship game, Beanstar.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hijack your call, Ryan, and I'm
not hijacking anything. No, it's a great
question. I'm not talking
question.
about the fan base as a whole.
Yeah,
most Kentucky fans. I mean, Kentucky's brought a bundle of people to watch football. Here for years and years, and they've sucked. But there were I knew a couple of hardcore Kentucky basketball fans that didn't want the football program to get one column in the cat's paws. That was too much for them.
You're right about that,
Isn't
Bino.
that why Bear Bryant left 100 years ago or whatever the heck it was?
Probably true. Yeah.
He allegedly got a cigarette lighter for winning 10 or having the greatest year ever, and Rupp got a Cadillac. And said, well, that's enough for me. Yeah.
Is that really the backstory, guys? I'd never heard that.
That's an urban legend, but
Brian
I think
used
it's
to tell a story like that he got that he got like a cigarette lighter and a pen, and Rupp got a Cadillac.
Let's
and he
go.
And he said, that's enough for me, boys.
Let's go.
Well, here's the thing. To answer your question, Bino, you know when Indiana basketball died? When Mike Woodson got one more year and Dusty went to Ann Arbor. So if they're waiting on something, they can keep waiting because we all-time lucked into something I've never seen before. And I'd echo Tony's sentiment. on one hand, you can look and be jealous at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And look, hey, I'm not sure we're going to win next week, but if we do, Mark and Columba listen, and Buckeyes live in it, we are the greatest Big Ten team of all time. I don't know if we're the greatest college football team. I think all three of those SEC teams recently could have beat this team, frankly. But Buckeyes live in it. If we get around Miami next week, we are the greatest Big Ten team of all time.
You're going to smash
and
them
into the ground. You
can
can be jealous of that.
No,
or you can say, what does he do that we can do in Knoxville? And it's a lot, because it ain't hard. It's just hard to do. With discipline, talent evaluation, land it. And we got Penn State's entire defense. I'm not scared of Texas next year. Let's win some games, guys.
Oh!
Everyone could be negative.
Hey, Hoosier Paul Ryan's right. We can sit there and say all day long, well, they're just going to go 2-year one. How about if we become the next Indiana? That's certainly on the table. Look what Miami did. Miami barely got into the playoffs, and when they take this thing to 16, which in another week and a half, we're going to find out that they're taking this thing to 16. And I'm not saying you're going to do it next year. I don't know if you can do it next year.
Right.
I don't know what the quarterback situation is next year. Talking about the fall.
It's
this
probably
fall.
27.
But in 2027, next year we could scratch a door if we add a few more defensive players. But the 2027 season certainly is one where Tennessee should think, hey, we can go deep in the tournament. Let's set ourselves up to do that.
Arch plays good 2 games, and I'm supposed to be scared of him.
That's exactly right.
Coming to Neyland with Penn State's defense.
That's exactly
that would
right.
set the tone.
That's exactly right.
Hey guys. Hey, great show.
Congratulations to you, man. Are you going?
Hey, no, I can't afford that.
Should we do a GoFundMe for you? A GoFundMe?
No. It would be wasting on me. I will enjoy it from the home. And I hate to say this, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't think this is the first natty Indiana football is going to play for. I wish this was happening for the Vols.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Something truly unusual is happening. Out the door, I will say, this Miami game gives me Penn State game vibes. Only they have a better offense, because when a proud program that can play defense gets you in your home stadium and can muster at one time, ask the Buffalo Bills of 90, whatever year that was, against the Giants, even though that was a Super Bowl game. Ask the New England Patriots against the Giants. Ask Josh Heupel how his team beat Florida State. But if Indiana gets around this next one, Mark and Columba live with it. We're the greatest Big Ten single-season team of all time. Not the Buckeyes.
Lumbo! Let's go! Thank you, brother.
We'll call you next Tuesday and find out.
Good talking to you.
Good luck, Ryan.
He's right about Miami. Here's the thing. You can't have Miami down there big spending like you do, and Florida being the disrepair they're in, and Florida State being the disrepair they're in, and tell me that Miami isn't going to stay where they are for a while. Because the reality is, they're going to stay where they are. Now, is this guy at the helm of the thing going to be able to get them through and get them over? I don't know. He won a hell of a game the other night. His coaching was a little goofy in that game. He called that timeout, which allowed Ole Miss to go down there and score. By the way, guys, that San Francisco game, or Brian, your game yesterday, when Josh Allen needs a half a foot from the 11-yard line and runs it down to the foot of the goal line, and you have all that time left, and you have an opponent over there with no timeouts, and you have 3, why would you score right away to make it a 3-point game? Why would you do that, Brian? Why wouldn't you kneel the ball down? You know this guy can score. At any time he wants to score in short yardage, I would have knelt the ball down. That was some goofy coaching from the Bills. That was some – look, just because this is the way the old school once did it, that was some goofy coaching from the Bills, man. They got away with it.
I was hoping that they would score quickly. I was thinking the best thing for the Jags is if that could just get into the end zone right now.
Right.
And we have at least maybe a minute and a half left. But I knew when the Jags took the lead there, 24 minutes to go, one of two things was going to happen. They were either going to force a turnover, or if not, the Bills were scoring. They were not going to stop Josh Allen on 4 downs. It was not happening. And unfortunately, I was right.
Fleet Pete says, Hoosier Vol. What about Duck Vol? He said, some guy just said, I just puked in my mouth. What an Indiana clown. This guy's getting ripped right now. And by the way, Timothy McGee, who took a smart pill today, he said in 2007, Tony, we went to the SEC championship game with Eric Ainge. A year later, we fired Coach Fulmer with a .750 winning percentage. So he is right about that. However, here we
Tony, our timing's always just a little bit off. Mm-hmm. This is the era for Fulmer to be the AD.
No question. No question. He'd have been perfect in this era.
For football.
Do you think he would want an entertainment district?
Zero chance of that, Bri. To the phones we go. By the way, Penn State's talking about building one of those. That's the new thing now. These guys have so much money that they don't know what to do with it all. And my Penn State buddies were like, why? Who's going to go there in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the winter? What businesses? I mean, have we thought this out? Why not just have like a pop-up city? Just have pop-up buildings for your 7 home games. Pop them up. And leave G10 alone, man. Let's go back to our phones. I take what Indiana's done and take inspiration from it. I'm not jealous of them. I hope they win it all. They show us, they show you, they show me that, you know what? It's out there. Go get it. That's my theme today.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols!
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Fire that thing up, focus that thing, and prepare that thing. We're fired up, folks, prepared to be with you today. It's hour number 2 on the radio. Yours surely, Tony Basilio, at your service. Pretty pumped to be here. NFL playoffs have delivered. College football playoffs have delivered. I think Brian Hartman's guys yesterday should take a bow. I think my Eagles yesterday should be pretty embarrassed to let a beat-up 49er team with a quarterback that threw a couple of interceptions. When you win the turnover battle like that, you can't win in your building because you got wide receivers that just can't catch a ball. A.J. Brown. And then you got Robinson over there from the 49ers who, do you remember him, Bino, when he played at Georgia? Because he ripped us apart yesterday.
Who was this, Tony? I'm sorry.
This Robinson kid yesterday who played at Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, where did that come from?
And Jennings impacts winnings.
I love Jennings. Love him. You talk about a guy whose worth to any team does not show up on the back of his bubblegum card. That's Juan Jennings. Juan Jennings is amazing. I got people saying that I'm wrong about the kneeling the ball down on the goal line. If I have 3 timeouts and you have none and I can move the ball anytime I want to move it, I'm going to kneel down there, and then I'm going to put the ball in the end zone after I extract some more time off that clock. You disagree with that, Bino? People are telling me I'm crazy.
I would have knelt at least once, Tony. I don't know how much more ground I give up other than that, but I would have knelt at least once.
The thing to remember is they needed a touchdown, not a field goal. So if you melted too much time off the clock and had one play and you don't get it, you get stopped. Imagine how much
you have 3
they'd be
timeouts,
getting ripped for
but
it.
you have 3 timeouts, Bri. People are telling me that's just dumb. No, it's a new way to look at football. It's what these guys are doing now. People say, "Oh, that's just dumb." Okay, it's just dumb. Just telling you, in that moment, there's a reason why teams don't score. They get on the goal line and they run clocks out now. Don't want you to get the ball back. It's the same kind of thinking. It's just a little bit reversed. We've always been taught, and if you'll notice what Brian Hartman's Jaguars did, and this will show you that what I'm telling you is right, they let them score. You know why they let them score? Because they weren't going to stop them. People say, well, you could take a false start penalty. Once they put back at the 6-yard line, I give the ball to my quarterback and he runs the ball into the end zone if it's back at the 6-yard line. What happens if you have 2 false start penalties? I give the ball to my quarterback and he runs the ball into the end zone. Bino, did it look to you like the Jaguars were stopping that guy in any way, shape, or form yesterday when he needed yards?
No. Well, they certainly weren't going to stop him from in there close, Tony. Now, I wouldn't have gone back to the 10-yard line and tried it.
Well, I'm not saying I would have, but, you know.
It's a good discussion. The thing about Jennings is he's just the anti-diva receiver.
Yep.
He just, however many times you give him the ball, he makes it happen.
Mm-hmm. He had 2 touches yesterday. One of them was like a 40-yard catch. Again. And then you know what else he does? On a couple of Robinson's long plays, he had an incredible, the first time that Cooper DeJean, who's like 24 years old and running around with like 48-year-old Nikki Bella, you go Nikki Bella. The first time Cooper DeJean got lost, first play basically from scrimmage, Jennings threw an incredible block downfield. Incredible. Stuff that doesn't show up on the bubblegum card. And then after the game, he went up there at the press conference and screamed into that microphone and got up and walked out. You know, how funny was that?
Loved it.
I mean,
you swap he and A.J. Brown, and the Eagles are still playing.
Shit, there's no question. But you know, A.J. Brown, I mean, he's going to read a book on the sideline. I like when that head coach went over there because it's been brewing all year. Catch the ball! You talk about a guy that had that.
He didn't look like he was making much of an effort.
You talk about a guy that had
that. Was that me?
No, you're right. You talk about a guy that had that coming to him. That's that A.J. Brown clown.
And like someone, maybe he was hurt or something, the way he was approaching that.
Let's go back to our
I
phones.
will say this. The book he was reading last year, if he'd have paid any attention to it, he would have been a different player. Than he apparently didn't pay any attention to it, but he read the right book. That Inner Excellence book is outstanding.
The 49ers, okay, are missing like 7 players now, and I would not count them out in the next round. I would not count a group of guys out that look at each other and play for each other the way those guys play for each other. Let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402, a show where we keep callers first. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
You're exactly right. If you're Buffalo, you take a knee.
Thank you.
On first down there.
Thank you.
They've got no timeouts left. They've got no timeouts left. You take a knee. You run it down to 20 seconds. You've got 3 plays from inside the 1 yard line to score. They haven't stopped you all game from running that. Their version of their tush push or whatever. I mean, they were killing you on it. You get 3 shots at it from the 1, and they have no timeout. And here's the thing: if you want to know whether or not you're right or wrong, what did Liam Cohen want them to do?
That's exactly right. Like Brian said, I wanted them to score. Listen, those of you that have taken a side on this on YouTube, you guys are dead wrong, but it's okay because you got to ask yourself, what would your opponent want you to do? That's exactly right. And if you say, hey, we ought to bow up and have a goal line stand, you ain't goal line standing that guy. That guy was like King Kong with the football in his hands yesterday. You ain't goal line. Hey, this ain't the 1960s, and you ain't goal line standing him, okay? Get real.
I mean, they let them score. Let them score. It's a no-brainer. Like, Jacksonville just went down the field on your defense and scored the possession before. Like, how many times have you seen these NFL quarterbacks go down with like 30 seconds left and all they needed was a field goal, and you got a field goal kicker that can kick it 67 yards? I mean, it's...
Yeah, literally, think about what Lee's saying. For Jacksonville, this guy, that means all you've got to do is get the ball to midfield. That means 2 plays from scrimmage. And the ball's at midfield, basically.
Yeah, I mean... You're getting the ball at the 30, 35 or whatever. I mean, come on. But, I mean, it worked out for them. I mean, I get it. Look, you want to get the lead, like, whatever. I would have taken 1 knee and then given myself 3 chances at it. So
that's right.
But
I take 1 knee, bleed that clock all the way down, take that thing down, and make it really hard on you now to get to midfield. I'm not saying you take 3 knees in a row. I'm saying you take 1 knee, you bleed the clock all the way down. You trust that nobody's going to jump because this is professional football, and we're in our 18th week here of playing together. Everybody knows their assignment. Don't jump. And I put the ball in Allen's hands, Lee, and guess what? It's in the end zone, and there's about 20 seconds left. That's what you do there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would have done. But, I mean, Brian's right. That game flipped in the first half after Buffalo fumbled the kickoff and Jacksonville had a chance to go up 14-3. And I guess there was a review on whether or not Lawrence's shin went down, and I guess it did go down early. So that was like a 14-point swing. I mean, that's where the game I thought was probably swung pretty big there.
Yeah. On the spot there. Yeah, great game, though. Hey,
sure.
2 great teams,
I don't know
Lee.
if he was down. It looked like there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the ruling of a first down.
I agree with that, Brian. I agree with you.
His knee was enough off the ground where I don't think you can overturn that.
I agree with that, Brian.
I mean, it was kind of parallel to the ground, so I think they just assumed it was down, but I don't think you could tell it was. Like, I don't – that's normally in the history of review, they don't overturn that because it's not totally clear, but they did. So, and as far as your Eagles tone, man, I mean, how are you guys that bad, man, on offense still? It's been like this since week 1. How has this not gotten any better?
Because they have a really, really horrible offensive coordinator that the head coach elevated because he was the next guy up, and he ain't going to be back here next year. But you know that, Lee. The guy is just not up to snuff, and they didn't get a lick better. In fact, they got worse as the year went on. I mean, hell, Lee, we won 2 games this year without getting a first down in the second half. and still made the playoffs. That's how bad our division is. Hey, Cowboy fans, how about a little competition? How about keeping us honest in Philadelphia? I'm sorry, Cowboy fans. Y'all are embarrassing. You let a team win the division that twice this year, twice won games without getting a first down in the second half. It's an embarrassment.
I mean, Brady was just ripping them in the second half. Like, the whole operation, like, why it was so dysfunctional. And he's right, man. It was hard to watch, just incredibly hard to watch. Like, they're standing around at the line, running the play clock down every time, like, trying to audible into stuff that wasn't going to work. And, like, do you think Jalen Hurts is good? I mean, I know he won a Super Bowl.
Not really.
He's awful, man.
Not really, no. No, I don't think he's good.
Dude, they didn't touch him yesterday. Like, he had no pressure on him all day long. And look at his numbers. For an NFL quarterback to go through a whole game where you don't get touched, and that's the best you can do with those wide receivers. And I know he had a couple of drops, but still.
The ball was coming out for him. The ball was coming out high all day long. Now, look, in NFL football, like you were saying, you should make those catches. But like Brady said, how about putting one ball down in somebody's breadbasket? Just one ball on the money. Just one of those 6. And they're still playing today. One of the 6.
Yeah, man, I mean, they made San Francisco look a whole lot better. That San Francisco team is not good, man. Like, they had no – they were scraping the bottom of the barrel for linebackers, like, off the street.
It was unbelievable. Oh, it was a hell of a win. If I'm a 49er fan, that's got to be one of the greatest wins in 49er history yesterday. You were a 7-point dog on the road. And then you lost George Kittle early in the game. And you got some reject from the Kansas City Chiefs who's out there running around making plays. And then they use a gadget play from Juwan Jennings, which is just a beautiful throw. And you overcame a bad day from Brock Purdy. I mean, there's so many reasons why the Eagles should have won that game. That's a disgusting loss for the Eagles. No offense, man.
I would be losing my mind if I was a fan of the Eagles.
It's disgusting.
Man, watching that.
We were watching that yesterday going, this cannot happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if it's against the 1 seed and you're on the road, but man, to that team in your home building, oh my goodness, man. But I'm just going to concede this whole thing to the Bears now. Like, they're going to win the Super Bowl and they're going to win every game on the last play of the game. It's just the way it happens. Like, that team stinks too, but they find a way to, like, I don't even know how they do it, but they do it every single week.
Every week?
That was the 7th game. Yeah, the 7th game they've won when they've trailed at the 2-minute warning. That doesn't even make any sense, man.
I know one thing. I was wrong about that Williams kid, Bino, out of USC. I'll tell you what. My quarterback can paint his nails, paint his toes, and wear some freaking makeup if he plays like that, Bino, in the stretch drive of games. What do you think, Beanstar?
Yeah, I think that discussion should be shelved.
I mean, he could go out there and dress like Dennis Rodman back in the day and be my quarterback.
As a Colt fan, I probably need to sit this quarterback discussion out. But didn't the Eagles have a game where they didn't complete a pass in the second half?
That's what I was talking about. They did it twice, Bino. Twice.
Didn't complete a pass.
Against Buffalo, I think they did it.
They did it against Buffalo, and they did it
game or something like that.
They did it earlier in the year, and they won twice doing that. And the Cowboys let that team win their division with Jerry Jones spending all that money because he's an embarrassment. That's the truth here.
I mean, for as much crap as I give the NFL, it is a pretty ridiculously good product, man. Like, those games were really good.
Oh, in the NFL, in the playoffs, it's insane, yeah. The regular season now, there are so many bad teams in that league that it's borderline unwatchable. But the East Division is just so boring being an Eagle fan. I'm sorry for the rest of the division. Y'all bore me. I mean, Cowboys, can we have some competition, please? New York Giants, can you guys, like, field a team better than a UFL football team? And God knows what they're doing in Washington this past generation. Goodness gracious. Lee, thanks, man.
All right, see you, boys.
You're good talking to you. Listen, people are, you don't kneel down. You do kneel down there, and you kill the clock, because the next play's going in the end zone. And y'all can apologize to me. You kneel down there. Oh, Tony, who else does that? I don't care who does that. This is a new way of playing football that we do now. You kneel down there. Now, would I do that with a college team? No. No. In college ball, if you're going to let me score there, I'm going to score. If I'm the Vols and I'm down 4 and you're going to let me score, especially the way, I got to watch how I say this, especially the way we execute, Bino, if somebody's going to let me score and I'm the Vols, I'm scoring. Do you agree with that, Bino?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm taking those points.
I'm taking those points like tomorrow with Josh Heupel. Man, I love Josh Heupel, but it's not very clean.
The sooner the better for us, Tony.
Yeah, you get in that end zone as soon as you can. You're going to lay down for me on defense. I'm not going to dive down at the 1-yard line. I'm going to walk into the end zone. Hopefully next year we have enough defense to make it hold up. 865-200-5402. Negative with an interesting comment, Bino. He said, nobody ever talked about that meaningless Indiana football program till the end of last year. Bino, does Indiana football strike you as meaningless right now? In terms of discussion point? What is that guy talking about?
Listen, I know it's easy for us, especially to look at them and have some jealousy about you. That's because if they can do it, we should be able to do it.
A guy just had a great point, Bino. If you kneeled down there on that goal line, you'd have like 3rd and goal from like the 19 with last year's team. They would have had like a false start and a hold. Maybe another false start. Maybe they would have gone for the trifecta, as the great Dick Vitale once said. Let's go back to our phones.
Back to Indiana real quick.
Yes.
They could become the first school. They'd be the first school to have, I think, or the last school to finish 16-0 in football, and then the last school that went undefeated in basketball in '76. That's the last school to do it was Indiana. And that's the kind of everything school I want to be.
Wait a second.
I don't know if it's too much to ask.
A team's never finished 16-0. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and then they'd have a team.
They'd
have the last undefeated team in football and the last one that went undefeated in basketball.
Hey, when the Dolphins went undefeated back in the day, guys, were they 17-0?
They were 17-0. The Patriots actually beat that, but they didn't finish the season undefeated.
Who beat them, Brian?
You
remember who beat the Patriots?
The Giants.
Let's go. Eli Manning's answered prayer. I've often said that if something really, really happens to me, I want to get on Manning's prayer list because I've never seen a guy with more answered prayers in my life.
The Patriots had more games to play in 2007 than the 73 Dolphins did.
David Tyree got that ball caught right in front of his face mask, Bino, and that was the last pass he ever caught in his life.
Wow.
Yes.
Ronnie, in a way, don't we already have that? I mean, it's not undefeated, but those two things are 50 years apart. I was in Morrell Hall at UT when Indiana went undefeated.
How many players from that Indiana team?
We won a national championship every 50 years in football.
How many, Bino, before we go back to our phones, how many Indiana basketball players from that team can you name, Bino? And then we'll go back to our phones.
Ken Benson.
Who just batted us? Who's bowing over here?
I don't think it's Poley because he's at work.
All right.
I think. That would be my first guess all the time when someone bats at me.
Ken Benson.
That guy. Well,
come on now.
Ask me to remember 50 years ago, the point guard that played for the Celtics.
Hang on. No.
Quinn Buckner.
Quinn Buckner, great player. Isaiah Thomas. Or did he come later?
He's later.
All right. Randy Whitman. He's later.
Maybe.
Benson.
I got Benson and I got Buckner. I don't know any others. I can't come up with any others.
Landon. Who's the kid that had the bad car wreck? Landon.
Turner.
Landon
He
Turner.
was later, right?
Let's go back.
Was Woodson on that team?
Woodson was on that team. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Bino, Brian, it's Taylor. I apologize. Some sheep dressed in red and white grabbed my phone. I just got it back.
Thank you.
May have been Hoosier Vol. I'm not sure. You know, Tony, I despise Volcats. I like Hoosier Vol. He's a great caller, but he's admittedly he's jumping on that bandwagon big time. He's admitted to us, Tony, he's a Tennessee football fan.
Yes, he is, to the
an
core.
Indiana basketball fan.
To the core. He's a Tennessee football fan and an Indiana basketball fan to his core. Yes, he is.
Not sure what to call that, but I despise Volcats. I like Hoosier Vol. Not that it matters. Tony.
Scott May was on that team, Bino. Scott May was one of them.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe I forgot Scott May.
Interesting.
Even with my
Taylor,
memory.
they're accusing me over on YouTube of hitting the ba button. Did I hit the ba button, Taylor? Yes or no? Or were you doing that?
Tony, there was a red and white sheep that needed to be sheared that grabbed my phone. It was not you hitting the back button or whatever it's called.
See that is? Thank you.
Tony, as you know, that Indiana-Oregon game was at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I live, unfortunately, still in Hotlanta. I'm trying to make that change, but unfortunately, I am stuck in the burbs of Hotlanta.
Yep.
So, Tony, I went to that game. I tell you what, I despise.
Did you really?
I'm on. Yeah, Tony, I did. I've got one of my best friends from college flew down, and his daughter goes to Indiana.
Wow!
So
what was the atmosphere like?
Tony, I despise. I'm on record as stating that I cannot stand college football games not played on college campuses, right? And I still think what they should do is continue that seeding, the high seed host until the national championship. But I got to tell you, Tony, I was absolutely blown away, spellbound. When I say that Indiana took over, it was 92% Indiana fans, about 3% Oregon fans, and then the rest, people like me that were neutral but were interested in going to see a great college football team and what I anticipate a great game. It was loud. That pick six, Tony, if Arthur Blank was there, and I'm sure he was in one of those suites, I'm sure he was disgusted with how the environment at Mercedes-Benz could be that loud, that just ear-splitting loud. It was unbelievable. I left thinking these Indiana fans, I mean, they've been hungry for this for 60-plus years, so I get it. They went from worst to first.
Yep.
The stars have aligned, but they are absolutely going to find a way to be loud and proud down in Miami. But would it be Indiana's luck? I don't know when the last time it's happened, but to be playing in Miami against Miami. You just can't make it up. I've heard tickets are $3,000 just to get in.
They are $3,300. And Clarky Baby said that they're going to have 70% to 75% of that stadium down there in Miami's home ballpark. And Taylor, after witnessing that, would you believe that?
Oh, 100%. I've never seen anything like it. And those fans were gracious. They couldn't have been nicer, kinder. The typical Indiana Midwestern stereotype. They were outstanding. My mouth was open several times. I couldn't believe it. But Tony, we had seats. We're in the first row of that second level. So I say that we had a great view of watching the plays develop. Right, Mendoza may be the most accurate, most intelligent. He's the best college quarterback, Tony, I think literally I have ever seen. You add Signetti to that, and I think this is the year. I don't know if they can replicate it because Mendoza, he is a unicorn, Tony. That kid is so darn special, and I think he won the Heisman. He's still underrated. I forgot, Tony. Add Mark Cuban to that. Mendoza, a generational quarterback, Signetti, and Mark Cuban is a recipe for going from worst to first.
And you know what else? An athletic director that during this guy's run would sit down, as the head coach has said, when he's
every week,
once a
relationship.
Week, sat down with him once a week because he saw it coming. And when everybody else came calling for his coach, who, by the way, if his coach went on the open market, Bino, You think somebody would pay him $30 million a year if he really made himself available with what he's done?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
And he said
he looks like the reincarnation of Saban.
And he didn't talk to anybody. And the reason he didn't talk to anybody is he said, this athletic director is the guy that gave me a shot. And he comes once a week, and we sit down, and we just talk about life. We talk about everything.
Are you sure it's not a lieutenant? It's not a lieutenant. It's actually the AD
No,
of
it's
Indiana.
the AD. It's the
relationships
AD.
matter, Tony.
Our guy acts like he's the Queen of England.
Do you think Danny White should get a few emails reminding him of how Indiana retains Signetti and relationships matter? You arrogant. Never mind. I can't stand Danny Dollars, Tony. Anyway, let's move on. Tony, UT has a very high quality of portal transfers. It's nice to see. I know the overall rankings at 17 don't reflect it, but it's not quantity, it's quality. And for the first time, I'm starting to see a little bit of hope that Heupel has learned to leverage the portal. You've got to do it in this day and age. See the remaining teams. See the fact that transfer quarterbacks that are very seasoned are leading their teams to the playoffs. It's just got to happen.
And it doesn't have to be a guy that played at an ultra-high level. It can be a guy like this kid that led Mississippi. It does not have to be a star player. Mendoza was not a star player, but he's a veteran player. That's the
smart
point.
Effect. He got into Yale, Tony.
He's a smart guy.
Remarkable.
That's right.
Tony, moving on, I'll let you go. I know it's the year of the universal caller.
Geophysical year of the caller is what it is, yes.
Tony, yes, sir. We have a Vitello curse. I like to think about it. We went from since Vitello left.
Yes.
We went from an everything school to a mid school. Even Smokey was fired, albeit Smokey was fired 2 seasons too late. He should have been let go 3 years ago. Tony, we've had underwhelming football seasons, underwhelming basketball seasons, and likely a baseball season that's going to be underwhelming as well. Tony, baseball team couldn't even host a fall inter-squad game, much less an exhibition game. Perfect Game has Tennessee at number 3. D1 is more realistic at 14. We have the Vitello curse, and I'm afraid the Giants are going to win the World Series in 3 years, Tony. G to the B to the O.
Oh, man, don't do that to me. Don't say it's a Vitello curse.
If they do that, you won't have to worry about the Vitello curse being hired in the SEC again at some place like Arkansas. So that would be actually good for us if the Giants and Tony had a lot of success.
Good night. 865-200-5402. Bino, Maury tells me the Indiana team is Scott May Benson, Tom Abernathy. Bino, remember Tom Abernathy?
I had Tom in my mind, but I couldn't get McMillan from Maryland out.
That's right.
And get Abernathy in there.
McMillan, I loved him because he went gray when he was like 24 and played till he was like 70. Scott May Benson, Tom Abernathy, Quinn Buckner, who you mentioned, and Bobby Wilkerson.
Bobby Wilkerson.
And then they had 2 guys off the bench that became head coaches in the sport, Jim Cruz, who was over there at Evansville for a while, and Bob Chief Bender.
Okay.
Bob
we had
Bender.
Woodson in there and Woods incorrectly.
Yep. Bob Bender, I understand, had Peronis. We'll come back on the other side, 8-6. Never mind. I just been told that Lumbo leads off after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott, for hundreds in our area. Custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And of course, go Vols.
Basilio here with my buddy, Knoxville Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Knoxville builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Knoxville.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Knoxville, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
TB, back with you. Craziest thing I can't get out of my head before we go back to our phones is that the number 2 power-rated team in the country this year in college football didn't even qualify for the tournament. And the team they took instead has made it hold up. Miami has gone right on and streaked out to playing in the national championship game. That's phenomenal. You got to give them a lot of credit. I get the sense, though, Bino, Notre Dame belong in that playoff, too. Looking back on it now.
Yeah, I think they did as well, Tony. And probably the mistake was not judging them against Miami, but judging them against Alabama. Alabama's the team that didn't belong in there. For some reason, we all just ignored their first game and their last game, but we held Notre Dame's first 2 against them.
Back to the phones we go, 865-200-5402. I mean, that Notre Dame team with that running game and that pretty good passing game they have, pretty good defense. I mean, that would have been a fun thing to see in the playoff. Let's go back to our phones.
Part of that's on Notre Dame, though, because of their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Because after the first 2, they just didn't play anybody that could beat them. But I agree with you. I think they were better than Alabama.
Yep.
Probably deserved to be in there ahead of Alabama. I'm not sure they wouldn't still be there.
Back to the phones we go. Speaking of Miami, when they get clear of the playoffs, what they're going to do with a quarterback in the portal now that Lane Kiffin has gotten who he's gotten. And Lane Kiffin came in Knoxville and got some damaged goods at quarterback, and he can have him. I'm not saying anything I didn't say on Friday. I did not want Sam Leavitt. I did not want Sam Leavitt. I do not want Sam Leavitt. I might eat my words. I am a takesman. I'm not afraid to have a take. It will not suck. But I didn't want Sam Leavitt. We'll go back to the phones. And we'll get our next call in at 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you on this Monday, my friend.
You can't have dual loyalty, Tony. You know, Florida calls in here and everybody gets him a hard time, but the guy is loyal to one team, regardless of how good they are. He follows one team.
Okay.
And this Hoosier Vol
Ryan. That's right.
You know, you know, they're either wearing orange or they're not. You can't have dual loyalty. It's like I know somebody.
Dave, I've never heard you attack another caller like this. I've never heard you come
personally,
hard.
I think he's a nice guy. I'm just saying you can't. It's either one or the other. I got a buddy.
Yeah.
That has a Dodgers hat, an Orioles hat, and a Kansas City Royals hat. He's got 3 teams. I have one baseball team. That's the St. Louis Cardinals. That's it. That's the only professional team I pulled for. I pulled for the St. Louis Cardinal football team.
Oh, I love them. I love this.
Jim Hart.
Oh, I
Metcalf,
love them. I loved them.
Jackie Smith.
Mel Gray. I love those guys. Come on now.
Now, when they
Conrad Dobler was so next level, man.
And when that team moved out of St. Louis, they were dead to me.
Damn.
So that's it. Yeah, that was it.
You're a rough
I got
crowd,
another
Dave.
buddy up towards Johnson City. He's a Kentucky basketball fan and a Tennessee football fan. No, it doesn't work that way.
Dave, would you say, and I'm not trying to start anything or put words in your mouth, but would you call Hoosier of All Ryan a fraud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally,
I don't understand it. I don't know. But I've never lived anywhere but here.
Yep.
So I am what I am. I've never lived off somewhere
You're a goof.
and come to school here or vice versa. People can do whatever they want to.
No. Dave called in here. No, he was full-throated. Tom Allen's a joke. Indiana football's a joke. Blah, 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 blee, 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 blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden, he's waving his banner. He didn't have a banner last year, Dave. Did he have a banner?
The Volcat
He didn't have a
thing's
banner
the
before
thing
the
that
year
I
started last
totally
year. No.
can't understand.
No, before last year, no. And the Volcats are the biggest frauds of them all.
Well, I mean, how do you pull for one team one season
right.
that you absolutely hate in another? That's the one I don't understand.
They've got big frauds. You've got big frauds, but we've got the biggest frauds of them all. Little AC/DC adaptation there. But yeah, good point, Dave. Here's your Ryan. I mean, no offense. You can't come on here and call him a fraud, though, Dave.
My mom went to the University of Missouri. She had Missouri stuff when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I could care less about Missouri. My dad got transferred to Knoxville in 1971.
Yep.
When I was 8 years old. And I went to my first Tennessee football game that same year.
Yes.
And that a Tennessee football and basketball fan. I saw Ernie and Bernie play like in 75 in Stokely.
Yes.
I did Tennessee was my home. That was my home school. That was, and I went to a Cardinal baseball game in 1969. And my family out there, they're Cardinals. It's in the blood. That's the only team I root for in baseball. And the only college team I support is the University of Tennessee because I fell in love with it when I was a little boy.
It's a great baseball town. This is an incredible fan base. You're very blessed that those are your two fan bases because that Cardinal fan base is so knowledgeable. They love it. They love it like college football. Our fan base loves it like college football. It's so important to our people, which I love. It just charges me up to get up every day and do this and exert all this energy I do and go hard. Go hard, Dave. But Dave, once again, here's your Ryan. What is he? Just one more time.
You can't have dual loyalty, buddy.
So what is he?
You got to pick one or the other.
What is he?
He's fraud.
Thank you, Dave. Bino, do you think that was a sad thing for one caller to call another caller a fraud on here, Bino?
I think it was even sadder that he was led into it by the host and the dean of discord.
All right, one more quick TO, and then we'll get some more calls in. I love each and every one of you, even the fraudulent callers.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately
your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from B. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. So, Josh